everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the Monday Memorial Day edition of Today in Sports Betting. Joined as always by my partner in crime as we take a look at baseball. He is Scott Reichel. Scott, what's going on?
Nothing much. You ever have one of those times where you're doing well betting, but all of your teams are struggling at the same time?
Yes.
I've had that.
I'm from Kansas City, so yes.
I've had that entire experience over the weekend until the Nets won last night. But before that, it was an ugly weekend for New York teams.
Islanders get blown out. Yankees lose 3 straight to Detroit.
Nets got killed on Friday night. It was really just a painful time. And even worse for me, I also follow a little bit of soccer on the pitch. Man City got one shot in the span of 2 hours. They got one shot on net in a title game.
That's not good.
So they lost. Not a fun time, but my bets have gone well, so it could be worse.
By the way, I know there's some of you out there that this is probably the only video that you watch, maybe baseball fans or whatever. I just wanted to wish everybody a happy Memorial Day. I did it on the other videos, but I wanted to give a special shout out to all of you that have served and who had any family that served. I know that's a tough gig as well. And of course, special shout out and a heartfelt thanks to any of you that have a family member or close friend who has paid the ultimate sacrifice. We never forget who does the job that keeps everybody else being able to do their job. So thanks and special shout out to all you service people on your day. Scott, you got any family members your dad serve?
No. I've nobody, I believe, who served in the U.S. Army. I know that my father does donate to the Wounded Warrior Project. So I know that, cool. Donates to some of the troops and stuff like that. But as far as I know, no, I don't believe I have anybody. But, of course, I did have a couple of friends in ROTC in college, so maybe they will be serving in the future. We'll see.
There you go. Yeah, my dad was in during the Korean War. Scott, he was in Panama. He worked for the telephone company, and then he got drafted. And they needed somebody to rebuild the phone system at the Panama Canal Zone. So he got on a troop ship with 4,000 guys that went through the Panama Canal. He got off. Everybody else went to Korea. So
okay,
a lot to be said for having a skill before you join up or get drafted. So anyway, special shout out to the old man who did his part there. As he said, I fought the Battle of Panama, fought him in the bars, fought him in the streets, fought him in the brig. All right, here we go, Scott. Let's talk about a little baseball. We've got mostly day games, so we're going to limit ourselves to the last 2 games on the card. Honestly, Scott, probably the 2 games we want to talk about most of all anyway, as the St. Louis Cardinals take on the Los Angeles Dodgers there in the first game. Scott, if you'd have asked me 2 months ago which one of these teams do you think is most likely to be leading their division, probably wouldn't have said the Cardinals.
Yeah, we would have said the Dodgers, but we also acknowledge the Dodgers division is significantly harder. So I can't say I'm not surprised because the Padres are really good. The Giants were the bigger surprise in that division, of course, being a playoff team right now. But we expected the Padres to be very good. We thought that would be arguably a battle between the 2 best teams in the entire league.
Yeah, and that's
the Cardinals. I know both of us like the Brewers to win the division. I'm not saying the Brewers are out of it, but am I shocked the Cardinals are winning the division? No, because you don't really have many great teams in there.
No, it's like just taking a big bag and shaking it and you see fucking who comes out of there.
It's not NL East bad, but it's not good.
No, it's competitive. Let's say that.
Yeah, I mean the Cubs are okay, the Brewers are okay, and the Cardinals seem to be pretty good.
We'll see. Cardinals are still holding the Cubs off for first place there in that division. Meanwhile, the Dodgers are third in the National League East, yet they have a better record than either one of the other 2 division winners or leaders in the National League.
I think you meant the West, but I get your point.
What's that? What did I say, the West? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. And so there was Giants have played surprisingly well. I think they're probably the biggest surprise in baseball, Scott.
Definitely up there. At least from the start of the year. Red Sox
are close.
Yeah, I was going to say the Red Sox would probably be choice number 2 there.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely true. So we've got in this one, it's an interesting pitching matchup, Scott. All right, it's Jack Flaherty, who we talked about being a very, very profitable pitcher as he takes on Trevor Bauer, pretty profitable pitcher in his own right. Flaherty, Scott, little bloom off the lily here last couple times out for Gentleman Jack as he's kind of let us down. And Bauer is a massive favorite here in this one. You're looking somewhere in the neighborhood of minus 180. You want to take a spin on the first place Cardinals? Step right up, got to get you about plus 165 or so. So, Scott, are you married to Jack Flaherty here in this situation? Are you getting that much positive value on the first place team and a guy that's still 9-1 in his starts?
Yeah, I was going to say Flaherty wasn't great in his last outing, got the loss, but overall the Cardinals are still very good whenever he pitches, mostly because of the ridiculous run support that he's gotten. However, Dodgers did not exactly have a great weekend. The Giants fared pretty well against them. Ended up winning 3 of the 4 games against LA. So I don't really like the Dodgers in this spot, especially at this price. If I was going to play it, I would take the Cardinals, maybe plus 1.5 runs. But I actually like the over in this spot, which sounds a little bit odd because of how good the pitchers are. But you're putting it at 6.5. We've seen the Cardinals and how well this team hits for Flaherty. We've seen the Dodgers bullpen blow up at various points. But I've seen the Cardinals bullpen lately. They didn't really look great against Arizona. They held on to win games, but they also blew a couple of really manageable leads before having to piece it together late. Yeah. So if I'm expecting both these pitchers to go around 7 tops, I think you should see some bullpen potential blow-ups here. So I kind of like the over in this spot, but based on the actual number for the actual money line, I can't take the Dodgers. The only play that I see is either the Cardinals on the money line or take the Cardinals plus 1.5 runs at about minus 140.
Yeah, that's the thing that worries me, Scott, of course, Flaherty got hit hard his last time out. Gave up 7 runs, although just 3 of them were earned. So there is that. But what troubles me is the fact that he seems to have lost a little bit of his command. He's walked 6 batters over his last 2 starts, covering 9 2/3 innings. I think there are going to be some base runners. I don't hate your overplay there. There is a potential for the Dodgers to break through against Flaherty. I don't think there's much potential for the Cardinals to break through against Bauer.
I think you just
Having said that,
work the pitch count.
What's that?
Work the pitch count. Just try to get the Dodgers bullpen.
It is a very disciplined Cardinals team. They will take a walk, but at the end of the day, I think the Dodgers probably get it done. However, I'm not going to dismiss that kind of value. It's going to be Cardinals or pass for me in this situation at plus 165. I got to do that.
That's why I went for the run line hypothetically. I know it's about 140, but if you think Dodgers are going to win, that's an option there, especially with the Dodgers being the home team, so they might not have to bat in the 9th.
Right.
But at a 6.5 total, Flaherty, as we talked about, has great numbers, but he has started to struggle a little bit more. And Bauer's good, but I do think the Cardinals could get to the bullpen. If they hold Bauer to about 6 1/3, 6 2/3 or so, they might be able to squeak a couple across against this bullpen.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, and I think it's 6.5, especially with a 3-3 extra innings draw. I feel like I have to like it, don't I?
I think you do.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a pitcher that's probably not going to scratch a couple runs across, Scott. That's as the Mets go against Arizona, Jake DeGrom goes for the Mets against Merrill Kelly for the Diamondbacks. Hey, shout out to the Diamondbacks. Scott picked up a win yesterday. How about that?
I'm proud of them.
Well, congratulations. You now won a game, and you get to face Jacob DeGrom, arguably the best pitcher in baseball right now. Certainly his stats would bear that out. 0.80 ERA, 0.6 whip. Those are just video game stats right there, Scott. And not when I'm playing a video game, when somebody good is playing a video game. That's what they always say. Oh, those are video game stats. Well, you've never seen me play video games. So, Scott, as far as the price goes on this, in his stunning development,
DeGrom's favored.
Mets are favored just a little bit. Scott at minus 190, opened up at minus 176. Actually, been Mets money coming in. Nobody's signing up to bet Merrill Kelly. Come on, Diamondbacks are hot. And 7.5 is the total here. Scott, Arizona Diamondbacks, team total under 2.5?
I think it's tempting. I know we talked about how the Mets bullpen's really good at home. On the road, not so much.
Not so much.
So I'm kind of having a little bit of pause there. Having said that, Arizona's bullpen, also a gas can.
And they're shitty everywhere. So
yeah, they're everywhere. So at least they're consistent. But looking at the numbers here, Kelly has not been very good. 2-5, 4.84 ERA, 1.32 WHIP. You look at his last couple of starts, surprisingly decent. Has given up 3 runs or less in each of his last 5 starts. Did pitch against the Mets earlier this season. 5 2/3, 3 runs, 2 of them earned. You look at Kelly's numbers at home, actually pretty good. 3 ERA, flat, 24 innings of work. On the road, he's terrible. He's got a 6.15 ERA. So maybe at Chase Field, he can piece something together. The Mets do have pretty much an entire backup offense in, well, I'd say in circulation right now because I don't have many people healthy. But Pete Alonso is supposed to return tomorrow, which is going to be a nice boost to that lineup. The thing is, I know the Mets still can't hit. And I know that they ended up piecing together a good performance, surprisingly, against Ian Anderson on Saturday. They ended up putting together double-digit runs, mostly against the bullpen. But still, I'm going to look to the first 5 under. I know that it's a cop-out with DeGrom, but totals at 7.5. Kelly's been pretty good at home. We know the Mets are one of the worst offenses in the league, and DeGrom is just DeGrom. So first 5 and pray that it's 4. 7.5, maybe you can get like minus 140 on the under 4, maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see. I'll go with the under. First 5. You? On a side, it's either Mets or pass because Arizona's just bad. They're really bad. I don't want the bullpens.
You want to hear my opinion now?
Yeah. I was just saying, I don't want the bullpens. I'll go first 5.
You know, I don't think there's any value on just playing the Mets straight.
The run line is tempting, I guess.
I'd consider playing them on the run line, but, this is a team that, they have won 4 of the last 5 for DeGrom.
Yeah, they've been better with him.
Covered the run line 3 of the 4. Okay, give me the Mets on the run line. Talk about praying. I would also consider taking Arizona team total under.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of whether you, like you said, you can get that Mets bullpen on the road to hang on. So
that's why I'm just going to remove him from the equation. Yeah. I'll pray for 4 on the first 5 under.
I don't blame you. Well, the nice part about the bullpen is everybody should be rested. They've had a couple of rainouts, and everybody should be ready to go. So
it should be pretty rested too, because DeGrom's probably going 7+.
Right, exactly. So yeah, nothing really else on the, like I said, Scott. Everything else is pretty much during the day.
Fantastic. I get to ruin my Memorial Day afternoon by watching Tampa destroy the Yankees. Fantastic.
Yeah, that's pretty much going to happen there.
We talked about it before we went on air, but I'm going to reiterate. I'm sure we'll talk about it on the radio show tomorrow. Tampa's still plus 300 to win the division.
Yeah.
The Yankees are still even money.
Yeah.
When are people going to realize the Yankees just might not be that good at baseball?
End of August.
I'm a Yankees fan. They got swept by Detroit. You should automatically be like plus 150.
Not a good look, Scott. Not a good look at all. As we talked about that, they including the last game of the series, they play Texas. Who they play before Detroit?
I'm trying to even remember. They played Toronto, and they didn't do that well.
So the last 4 games, 3 against Detroit, last game against Toronto, they put up 5 runs total in those 4 games.
Well, they had a doubleheader on the last game, but yes.
Yeah, well, there's an excuse. Yeah.
It's an excuse 100%. This team isn't good. But you're looking at Tampa, it's basically a pick 'em. They've won, 15 of 16?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take Rich Hill, who looks like – I don't even know how to describe him. He looks like he switched bodies with Kershaw.
Well, he looks like Rich Hill from seasons past, Scott. He started off poorly, gave up 4 runs in each of his first 4 starts. You're like, this guy's done. And then he has been outstanding over his last 5 starts.
We don't even mean good. We mean like ERA arguably below 1 good. Like he's been untouchable.
Yeah, he's been just flat out outstanding. I was looking, I thought I had the 1.26 ERA, 0.93 WHIP in those 5 games.
Okay, so it's 1.26. It's around a 1 ERA. So this is Rich Hill we're talking about.
But you got to remember, this is a guy that's been very good for the last 5 or 6 years. The last 5 years, 3.03 ERA, 1.08 WHIP. So
people don't think highly of him because he only throws a fastball about 90 miles an hour, but he's crafty.
He's a crafty lefty.
Yeah. But I got to go with Tampa. Give me the hotter team against the team that's got swept by Detroit with Tyone on the mound. I'll go with Tampa.
Hard to argue with that. All right. As always, guys, you're looking for any more information on any of these games, make sure you stop by and check out winnersandwhiners.com. Deep dives and predictions into every single game, every single day, always there for you and always free. Once again, we thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, for myself, for Scott Reichel, for a whole team over here at Winners and Winers, wishing you nothing but the best today. Hope every one of those tickets in your pocket turns into cash money when you head back to the window. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. And we'll see you tomorrow on Today in Sports Betting. Take care.